So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Oh, this is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikitoba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking to Zori, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be really greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Alright, who's that first witness? That's the waiter. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. I mean, I've got so many British accents I can do. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival. Oh, Jesus. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. But really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. Yeah. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, and incidentally, 3 days ago. In the languages.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident.
At once, sir. No petty interjections from the inspiring lawyer boy, please. Did I say inspiring or aspiring? Either way. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? Or inspiring? Hey! Ben, or Erodrolin, thanks for joining the chat. Playing a bit of Great Ace Attorney for the first time ever. I'm really enjoying it so far. It was just after 2 PM on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits into my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I'm holding up really well. I've been keeping myself fairly busy, and obviously today I'm playing a brand new game that I've been looking forward to for a long time, so doing really well at the moment. How about you? I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
Okay, I got the voice fairly good. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But...
The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo.
Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You will have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Inosuke? That's just not right. Why don't you over to Dr. Wilson to say hello? Oh, a lady. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Oh no! This could be either. Oh no. I mean, surely it's early enough that I'm not gonna... but I was specifically told I'd get a penalty. I know, right? I know. See, normally these kinds of things aren't like game ending, you just get a penalty, but... I don't know what to do. Knowing this game, if I wait and see, there's the possibility that my assistant will go, "What are you doing? You have to point this out right now." Or if I interject, the assistant might just go, "No, shut your mouth, you fool." Like, I don't know how this game operates, because if this was the main series, not seeing the flashing penalty bar at the top would mean that it doesn't matter what you choose. But it's a different sub-series, so I don't know how it works. Music's amazing. Have risen his last save. Well, it auto saves, but I don't want to be reset, because again, like, these kinds of things normally aren't game ending. Like I said, you only just get like a minor penalty, but if you get too many of those, you do get a game over. It shouldn't matter. My gut tells me... I don't know what my gut tells me. It's like... I waited and see. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Inosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I'd never have got into Yume University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. See, here it is. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm not going to shut my eyes and say it. See, it's doing the thing again. It's like, I said one thing and the assistant was like, "No, do the other thing instead."
Yes!
Yes! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it! There's that blood again. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Alright, what do we got?
Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume.
We've got 6 tables. I'm assuming X is where the victim was. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. I'm betting we're going to see the front of the business card at some point. That's going to be key evidence. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. And where are the people? I'm confused. Where are the people seated?
Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter.
Thank you, sir.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Yeah, I'm confused by that as well. It doesn't show anyone else. Oh, well.
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh, Jesus. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. I bet it's because it's on the front of the business card. I need to have another look at this. Where are the people? I don't get it. Unless like all the tables were bare. It'll be cleared up later. So the court has now heard a process of the case.
Yes, at the moment of the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant or child name. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency? Well, there was like shadows of other squares on it. Oh. Erasing. Let's have a look. Oh! Oh, that's probably... That's possible. It's also possible that's stuff showing through from the other side of the business card. No, I bet that's what it is. He wrote an original plan on the front of the business card, and he redrew it on the back of the business card. Because there's definitely... I see what you mean. There's definitely some stuff shining through from... I think either being erased or from the other side of the card. That's a really good catch.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. You are that's Detective Cool Guy. That's. I mean, that obviously went without saying. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty in one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Megatoba said it, and so is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I've said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is.
Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with the proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once.
See, this is something I heard about this game. Witnesses, plural. Yeah, here it is. No, absolutely not. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. More voices now.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Aisa No, sir. Reporting for duty, sir.
Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Kyoryu Kurekuta, at your service. These pun names are a little more tricky for me to figure out.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
I mean, that's my old man voice. That's the only old man voice I have, really. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Super fair, huh? Fair. Yeah, fair. Until I get another old man voice, the Sultan is just going to be everyone. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. It sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir! It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir!
This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Yes, so did I. I thought it was coming from the outside, but... So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier was claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by to...
Yeah, there was a... What was that? It was like...
Standing by, ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Here we go. First testimony of the game. What the witnesses saw. Lurk for a bit. Yeah, no problem, Ben. Just whenever you can, just join in when you can. First testimony of the game. Here we go. I am very familiar with the testimony themes. In this first game, anyway.
I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, the firearm was discharged.
What is that noise?
I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. I already spotted the contradiction.
I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Military dude stole it.
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment? You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That's wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy.
What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and started drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang. Well, if that's the truth, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is. Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine these witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now!